Welcome to One Insight. My name is Rich Litvin. I grew up in London and I now live in LA. And this is a podcast for extraordinary top performers and their coaches. You see, I've coached some of the most successful and talented people on the planet. I can see what most people cannot see, and I dare to say what most people wouldn't dare to say. And what I know about success is that on the other side of it, it can be incredibly lonely. You can feel more of an imposter the more successful you become. And when you're the most interesting person in the room, you're actually in the wrong room. Clients who are more successful, more intelligent, and wealthier than you need your support more than they know and more than you can imagine. I coach around insight. Life looks one way, something happens, and the world looks different, and your entire world changes. It can happen in an instant. And this podcast is called One Insight because a single insight can change everything. One of my coaches in 30-minute sessions, and I'm usually done in 10 minutes because I come on with a single question. I've got a single question or a single idea, and in 10 minutes we're complete. Once in a while we go longer, but most of the time we're done in 10. And that's when I realized I'm not paying him for the amount of time I spend with him. I remember years ago when Steve Chandler was my coach, something was going on in my relationship, and I realized that day I had a coaching session with Steve. I needed to take Monique somewhere. I needed to do something for our relationship. And I actually booked a trip to Disneyland because I remember writing to Steve and saying, "Hey, Steve, I'm going to cancel our coaching today. I'm good for today. I think it's more important I take my wife out and we're going to Disneyland." And Steve Chandler, with his normal sense of humor, wrote back, "Are you blowing me out for a mouse?" But I realized I wasn't paying him for his time. It was not. I was paying for the value I got, and I got the value I needed that week, and I was good. And so two things. One, practice that. And two, you got to experience that with your own coaches. If you're still, checking the amount of time you spend with your own coach, you're not getting this thing about value-based coaching, value-based fees. You've really got to experience that. Also, the value you get is not only a quality of the value the coach brings you. It's a factor of how you show up. And you can get 10 times your money's worth when you show up that way with your coach, with any coaching program that you're in. And as soon as you start to do that, you can then start to say to your clients, like, this is how you can show up. I get someone usually towards the end of any program that I've run over the years, or it usually happens after it's complete. They finish their time with me and they write in and say, "Hey, I want you to know I didn't get the value I wanted from that program. I feel really disappointed." And it's never someone who's been fully interactive, who's asked for questions, who've asked for help. It's always the person who's been anonymous, has never asked me a question. And what can I do with that? So the program finished. All our time together, when you barely asked a question, you never shared what was going on, and now it's over. You want to tell me that you didn't get the value. How can I help you with that? And so be aware of that. And you can also draw that out of your clients. You can say, "Hey, Jim, I'm noticing that we've had, 4 calls right now, or you've been in my group program for 6 weeks, and I haven't heard from you." And you can make that okay. Look, there's no problem with that. Not everyone wants to open up every time, but I want to check in. Are there questions that you're not asking? Are there things that you're holding back from saying? One of my friends, his name's John, he's a very successful coach, and he does something halfway through every group coaching program he runs. He runs an I Hate John session. He runs small groups, like 6 to 10 people, and he gets them on and he says, "Okay, I know you're pissed off with me right now. I know some of you are right now thinking I hate John, or it's that thought has come up. Let's get it out there. Tell me, how do you hate me? What's going on?" Because once you get that out there, it frees them and him. Because either it's something they're carrying that they could be doing something on themselves that they don't know, or there's something he needs to address that he can't yet see. So there's a seed for you if you're interested, an I Hate Me session, or something, you can word it differently, to draw out what's really going on for your clients in that moment. For most of human history, it wasn't called coaching, it was called leadership. And it's what I love to do, to coach people, to lead people, and to mess with people's thinking. If you'd like more of this, or if you'd like to learn more about our community of extraordinary top performers, go to richlitvin.com/oneinsight.